the word Latino wasn't used back in those days. Either you're Mexican from Mexico, or you're Chicano, or then later on they start saying raza, and you're raza or whatever. So I grew up with a lot of raza.
Kev Mac video, you know this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
Okay, from again by me going into juvenile hall and a lot of other places, county jail and such and so on, I met a lot of guys. I think one guy, I don't know if he's still alive. I think his name is it Ruben Segura, and if I'm not mistaken, that's black from East Side Clover. Okay, and one time another guy came in old county jail, a young dude. He said he was from Clover and his name was Black, but he was a youngster. I said, well, do you know Black from East Side Clover? See, and Black from East Side Clover, that's around 1962. Okay, me and him were real tight. He was in there for shooting up some people at a bus stop on North Broadway that he thought was from another neighborhood, and such and so, which they weren't. They were Mexicanos that looked like two dudes and stuff. And then a lot of the guys, one of my real good friends, I hear he's still alive, I hear he's in a wheelchair, is Marcelo Beza, Gabby Loco. Or not Gabby Loco, East Florence, in Florence, Intermediate Florence, or whatever, but he lived over in the Ochentas. And so I grew up with a lot of guys from the Ochentas. The Ochentas originally was started by somebody from Florence. Okay, Victor Baca, they called him Tarzan, from Little Florence. Victor Baca and his family, Stella and all of them, they moved from over here to 80th between Avalon and San Pedro. And in the mid-50s is when they moved there. So their little brothers and stuff, kids, started writing 80th Street. Okay, and that's where the Ochentas got the name from. It was Bobby, Green-Eyed Bobby, what was his name? He was from the Ochentas. He went to Edison. He was the only Ochenta at Edison after they got started around 57 or something like that. And so by me growing up and being around, like if you, by the way, there's a book called Before Crips, Fussing, Cussing, and Discussing. Okay, that's a book that myself and Professor John C. Quicker from Cal State Dominguez Hills wrote the book. We had all the information quite some time ago, but the book has been out, I think, now maybe couple of years or so. And in the book, you'll see a few pictures of me in juvenile camp, some of the people that I know, and such and so. And so a lot of people in those days, when racism and prejudice was on the run, most of the racism was coming from the whites against the blacks, and definitely against the Mexicans, and even quite a few of the Asians, because we had Filipino Frog, Henry, what's Phil Frog now? I think Henry Magassa, Big Florence, I think is from. He used to live in a few blocks from here. And so I knew most of his family, okay, and he's passed on now. He was he was a dangerous individual, okay. Now, and I won't say anything else about him, and then you had Mariano Jimenez, okay. Now he became the leader of Little Florence. He used to live about 4 blocks from here, to the west of me. Okay, and then you had the Florecitas. Okay, you had the tiny Florecitas. You had the Crucitas, and you had another one. They came later. I can't think of their name. And then the guys, you had Little Florence, Baby Florence, Tiny Florence, Cherry Florence. This is another one. Then later on, they added a lot of other things to it. I'm trying to remember all that. It's been a long time, because as the last time you guys talked to me, I was a younger guy at about 70-something years old. Now I'm slightly older. Okay, my next birthday will be this May, and I'll be 81 years old. The last time you saw me, like I said, I was 70 something. And so sometime I have to rewind my tape to, basically get things situated in the right hand. I still live in the neighborhood, and I still go around. Some of the guys, and some guys came around here the other day to ask me some questions about the neighborhood, about Florence and such and such. So, like I said, I came here in 1950. Okay, and I knew the original older guys, Big Snuffy, and all those, and what's the name? Naturally Mariano was a little friend. Is Buzzard, Penguin, Napoleon, they call him Polly. I've been to their funerals, all of their funerals and such and so on. So it's a lot of younger dudes around here that are Florence, okay, and they know some of them are relatives to some of the guys and the thing, but they only know what they know. See, and then like the Talaveras, Big Albert Talavera, Manuel Talavera. Albert has passed on a long time ago, but Manuel came. I had a birthday party in May the 5th last year. Some of my kids showed up, children or whatever you want, grown folks. They're grown. But my youngest is 30. Excuse me, that is 30, about 36 years old at the time, and so one of my sons came from Mexico. One of my sons came from up what do you call it up there? Going toward San Francisco. So I can't even think of it right now. He's half Mexican. My son, Tizoc is his name. Tizoc was the name of the second emperor of the Aztec Empire. And I took a picture of my son Tizoc in Mexico City, sitting on the stone of Tizoc. And then my other son, Adolfo, okay, he's in Mexico right now, back and forth. And then I have another son named Mariano. I named him after Mariano Jimenez from Little Florence. The Mariano, the one I said, lived on 75th. He was a very outrageous guy. He was cool as long as you were cool, but he was extremely dangerous. Okay, and then I have a daughter. Okay, her mother was half black and Mexican. Okay, and then I have another daughter. Okay, she's Japanese, but Kokujin no Konketsu. It means black Japanese and such and so on. Then all the rest of my sons and daughters are black. And to make a long story short, I think I mentioned before, I had 15 kids. Okay. I had 8 sons and 7 daughters. Right now I have 40 grandkids and 8 great-grandkids and 3 great-great-grandkids, supposedly. And the thing is, the way that I grew up in this neighborhood, a lot of people didn't like me. Jealousy, envy, and all of that type of stuff, it always creates a problem. Because they couldn't understand why this mayate was, meeting a lot of girls and stuff and catching a lot of chicks. See, it had nothing to do with my color. It had something to do with my style. It had something to do with the type of individual I was. See, and a lot of dudes, wanted to get me, but they couldn't get me because other guys told me that they couldn't get me. And if something happened to me, something's going to happen to you.